I'm sorry to interrupt your lunch, but I've been told that now is when I have to pay for my lunch. So I have a few words here. Well, good afternoon. Thank you for being here today. I'm Brian Erstead. For those that don't know, I'm the interim dean, and I'm honored to host this special occasion to celebrate and recognize the incredible individuals who make the Coit College of Pharmacy what it is today. It's a place of innovation, excellence, and opportunity. And I especially want to thank the provost, our chief academic officer, Dr. Patricia Patty Fralak, for joining us today. I've had the pleasure of having several meetings with her, and we feel like we're kindred spirits. She's one of the university's main pillars of success for every student, and her attendance here today and ongoing support are a testament to her commitment to just that. So again, I know, thank you. Why don't you stand up? Again, I feel I'm busy at times, but I know what her schedule is like, and it's unbelievable. And so, again, very appreciative that she's taken the time to be here today. Before we go further, I'd like to pause to acknowledge a great loss for our college community. Last month, we said goodbye to Dean Emeritus Jack Cole, and he led the college from 1977 to 1990 and devoted more than 6 decades of service to the University of Arizona. Jack was a visionary leader in expanding research, launching new research programs, and securing support that made our home on the health campus possible. And to digress a little, Jack Cole was actually the one that hired me, and Jack had an interesting sense of humor. After I went in to meet him for the first time in the dean's office, and his very first question to me was, "Why would you want to work here?" And I thought, wow, that's an interesting start. And then I realized that was just the sense of humor that Jack had. And later, ironically, Jack was actually a provost, besides being a dean at the College of Pharmacy. And after he stepped down from that position, he came back to the College of Pharmacy. And guess what? I was the department head, and he was reporting to me. Okay, so imagine this, that a dean, previous dean, and a past provost is reporting to me, this relatively rookie new department head. But fortunately, Jack was very good about it and actually made me feel very comfortable, and it went out great. But Provost Prelak, if you want to imagine a nightmare, imagine me being your boss and evaluating you. Is that a scary thought or what? So anyway, he and his family also established an endowed scholarship that continues to support our students today. And he was really known for his humility, student-centered approach, and he leaves a legacy that lives on in our programs, our people, and countless alumni that he inspired. And so we celebrate today's school, our scholars and supporters, and we honor Dr. Cole's enduring impact on the college. Well, this luncheon is an opportunity to show our appreciation for the generous donors, engaged alumni, dedicated preceptors, and the community partners who contribute so meaningfully to our college success. We couldn't do it without you. And again, I'd like to recognize we just have a number of our faculty, current faculty here today, and I owe a great deal of thanks for them for helping me out in this new position. A number of previous either faculty or longtime supporters of the college who taught for the college, Alan and Bill and Metaloo. Again, I know I'm missing individuals, but just name a few of the people that taught in the past and or are still teaching now. And again, it's just a pleasure for me, an honor to work with them. But it's also a day to celebrate our students. We recognize your academic achievements, your aspirations, your hard work. Scholarships are one of the ways the college continues to invest in you. They represent our ongoing support and belief in your potential, not just as students, but as future leaders in pharmacy and healthcare. And my advice to you, again, to digress from this script is, it's something for those of you, if you followed the mythologist Joseph Campbell used to refer to following your bliss. And I think it is, I always word it as, find that passion. And whether that's actually being a pharmacist or in some cases doing something different, going on into finance or whatever. But as long as, again, you're making us proud, alumni, I'm less concerned with the specific area you get into, that you're happy, that you're passionate about what you're doing, and that you make an impact. And although later same person, Joseph Campbell, was known to say, instead of follow your bliss, he is known to say, follow your blisters. The idea that it took some hard work too, so. Okay, of course, none of this would be possible, again, without the extraordinary faculty who bring knowledge, mentorship, and real-world experience to the classroom every day. You've already met Dr. Cornelison Bernadette, who was up here earlier doing the announcements. We Again, I can't thank the faculty enough. And their dedication ensures that your education prepares you for a wide range of meaningful paths in pharmacy. Alongside them are our extending staff who work behind the scenes. That's another thing. Every one of these functions, I'm always so quick to thank our staff, because I've used the example, every organization I've ever worked in for national organizations, and I've been on the boards of several, it's staff that keep the organization going on a day-to-day basis. We couldn't do it without them. And so I always, every talk I give, I try to remember to thank staff. So the college, the pharmacy strength, it really comes from this collaborative effort of faculty, staff, students, alumni, donors, partners. We're all working together to push the profession forward. And our shared goal really is academic excellence and its impact. It's beyond this academic excellence. And so as we look to the future, we know that artificial intelligence will change the profession. We were just talking about this at our table. But we see this moment as a shift, not from relevance to redundancy, but from dispensing to indispensability. That was a comment I made a year or two ago. I was being interviewed about pharmacy, and I said, we need to move from dispensing to indispensability. And I've used the example of faculty in my own department when I was department head, that I said I had this list of faculty that I just could not afford to be without. And nothing to do with tenure, non-tenure, any of that. They're just those people that they're just indispensable. And so that's, for students out there, that's what you need to work towards, is making yourself indispensable. And I'm convinced you'll have a role in the future for that. So yes, pharmacist's role is evolving. It's becoming more clinical, definitely more human-centered, and in my mind, more essential than ever. And so the tools may change. You're going to need to be more skilled, compassionate, and knowledge professionals that, like you. And again, I'm only looking up for you. But remember that passion and that compassionateness. So today, let's honor the students who will lead that future and the donors, mentors, and partners who encourage them. Now, it's my pleasure, now that I've paid my dues, to introduce Michael Weintraub. As an alumnus, Michael has seen the value of investing in students and their education firsthand. He's been a passionate supporter of the college and shared his industry experience and perspective with students in a variety of settings, including at our table for the last hour. And most recently, he and his wife, Lori, established the Michael and Lori Weintraub Pharmacy Scholarship. And again, if you'd please join me in welcoming Michael Weintraub.
Good afternoon, everybody, fellow donors, faculty, and pharmacy students. What I want to talk about today is more of a story about me, but how it all kind of comes together with philanthropy and supporting students and the importance of faculty. So if you will indulge me, I want to tell you my story. It all comes together as I complete this conversation. So over my 45-year career, I've probably given thousands of presentations, but today it's really special for me. I'm returning home. I haven't been down to the campus probably in this last year or two more than I've been in the last 40. So it's really exciting to see what's happened to this campus, what's happened to this town. It's really an honor for me to stand here today and to celebrate the power of philanthropy and the promise of the students' futures here. This luncheon, for me, is not just a reflection of generosity. It's a tribute to resilience, mentorship, and the transformative force of education. Back in the late 70s, early 80s, I too was a student here. And like many of you, I wanted to make a difference. And like many of you, I stressed over finances. How am I going to pay for school? How am I going to pay for my apartment? How am I going to pay for food? And I was constantly worried about that. And I also had another problem back then. I really lacked a lot of self-confidence. Then came a scholarship around 1978 out of nowhere. One of my professors called me in his office and presented me with this check. And I go, what did I do to deserve this? I still don't know what I did to deserve it, but I was very grateful. But for me, it was belief. Somebody actually believed in me. Someone saw potential in me. That belief sparked my can-do spirit that I've lived with every day since. And it carried me through every challenge in school, and every breakthrough in my career, and certainly in my personal life, in my family, and in my marriage. That was a pivotal point in my life on my journey to become an adult and building my career. I did begin as a pharmacist. I didn't practice very long, maybe less than a year, but those early experiences for me laid the foundation for what would really become my opportunity to go out on my own and create my own company called Medix Health. Now I want to digress a bit because this is really an important conversation I want to have to the students in here particularly, because my journey began directly as a result of a professor I had by the name of Richard J. Hamill, Dr. Rick Hamill. Bill may remember Rick, I don't know for sure, but Rick was my advisor in pharmacy school, my teacher, my mentor, and my friend. Yes, we were personal friends along that journey. How that happened, it was just serendipitous because we hit it off and the rest took off on its own. Rick left the college to join a company that was being formed up in Scottsdale called PCS Health Systems, Pharmaceutical Card Systems, which was started by our very own Charlie Polito. I'm sure there's plenty of you in here that know Charlie. And they wanted to launch a pharmaceutical data analytics company from all of the claims data that was running through their computers. So they founded this company. Rick saw something in me, and I had just graduated from school, and he was already in his new career. Yet he reached out to me and asked me if I'd like to come up to Scottsdale and meet with his colleagues at the new company that they started, Pharmaceutical Data Services. That dinner that night led to my first role as an account executive. It launched the career I could have never, ever imagined while I was in pharmacy school. That's why I always urge students today when I speak to them, build relationships with the faculty. And to the faculty, never underestimate your influence on students. It's powerful, even when it's not immediately visible. So after PDS, my personal brand name was well established, and I had many, many doors open for me across all types of companies that you've heard of. Express Scripts and Cigna Health, McKesson, a Dutch publisher in healthcare called Wolters Kluwer Health, another data analytics company in the US called Symphony Health, and those all were a direct result of this opportunity that was presented to me through a relationship that I had with a professor here in school. Rick also was instrumental, to my surprise, to encourage me to come back down to Tucson back in the early 80s and be an adjunct professor. So I did that for a couple of years, mentoring students. It was a lot of fun. But admittedly, I was still a greenhorn myself. I was still kind of getting my career going. But it's always a great story to tell students because sometimes we get tunnel vision when we're in pharmacy school and we're one-dimensional. And so what I saw the opportunity to do is actually enlighten students that there's more than one dimension to pursue as a career. So as I immersed in my career, I became fascinated with the application of prescription and medical claims data and how those data worked and supported the pharmaceutical industry, particularly in their marketing efforts, their market research efforts, their outcomes research efforts, their clinical trials, their pharmacoepidemiological study work that they did. Those claims data were pivotal for all that kind of work that we did in my companies in support of big pharma's needs in marketing and in clinical research. Later in my career, I started thinking about my own career. I was in my 50s by then, and I said, if I don't take the opportunity now to do something on my own, am I always going to look back and ask myself, why didn't I do it? Why didn't I do it? So my wife got that phone call one afternoon when I said, honey, I'm done. Her response, what do you want for dinner? Serious. I go, no, you don't understand. I just resigned. She said, I know. What do you want for dinner? So with the support of my wife, I don't know that this would have happened as it did, but it turned out I started a company, and it was built around the idea that big pharma I don't know if many of you pay attention to Big Pharma and where the money goes on their balance sheets and their P&Ls, but they spend a lot of money, billions, advertising drugs to consumers and to doctors. It's a massive line item for Big Pharma, and there's not a lot of efficiency in how they go about creating these TV commercials, how they plan for them, how they launch them, how they place them, how they measure them. So that was my idea, and I built a business plan, and I raised $3 million in about 3 months, just before the crash hit in 2007 and 8, and I was off and running with the launch of my company called Medix Health. You know, it's funny because I often ask, why would people give me this kind of money off of a piece of paper? And every one of my 12 investors said the same thing. Michael, the idea is great, but we're investing because we believe in you. Well, that hit a nerve again. It went back to 1978 when I got that scholarship, and I go, wow, there's something here about myself I don't recognize. People believe in me. This was a force for me that I still to this day live my life around, that, you know, I'm worth more than I think I am to a lot of people. So it's a great thing. So that belief continued to fuel my drive and my ambitions and my career opportunities. And after years of pivots and perseverance, Medix we grew the company to 50 employees with offices in New York City and here in Scottsdale. And in 2023, we were sold. We sold the company for over $100 million. In our world, our shareholders got a 10-to-1 investment. So if there's any people that invest, that's a Google type investment to get that kind of return on your money. And it wasn't just luck. Admittedly, luck is always involved in great things that happen in your life, but it was really about grit. People in the industry that know me as the gritty guy. And I believe in that, and I believe in having values and integrity and support, and it all sparked from that first scholarship I got in 1978. That's why this was coming home for me. When Brian and his team approached me, well, maybe a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, I thought, and I thought, and I thought, and I thought, and I finally said to myself, this makes sense. I'm going back home, and I'm going to do something for students that was done for me. Now, the order of magnitude is very different. School's a lot more costly than it was when I went to school in the 70s, too. So to the faculty, what I'd like to say to you is, remember, your influence on these students matters. You shape futures in ways that ripple far beyond the classroom. I'm a perfect example. Whether you like what I have to say or not today, that's an example of the impact a faculty member had on my life and my career. Students often ask me if I regretted not practicing pharmacy long term. My answer was a resounding no. My pharmacy education qualified me for my first job with Rick and Charlie at PCS. I couldn't have gotten it without having that background. It gave me the credibility also to publish. I published in numerous, now it wasn't Annals of Internal Medicine, but it was in, Pharmacy Times, Drug Topics, a lot of different opportunities. I got opportunities to speak internationally in France and teaching companies around the world about managed care and pharmacy benefit management. I had enormous opportunities to blossom that I don't think I would have ever realized had this opportunity not been presented to me back in 1982. And to this day, interestingly enough, because I have not been behind the counter of a pharmacy since 1981, to this day, I still maintain my license in Arizona, Nevada, and California. And the reason I do it is it's central to my identity. It's who I am. I am a pharmacist. I may not be a practicing pharmacist, but it's an identity that I have never lost and I plan to retain for the rest of my life. And it has impact. So in closing, for me, philanthropy made all this possible. It's more than charity, it's a catalyst for change. So to my fellow donors, just remember this, we're not just writing checks, we're planting seeds. We're investing in students who will revolutionize pharmacy by blending science with compassion and driving innovation that reshapes healthcare. I think those are great challenges for us to take on with students here today. So donors, stay engaged. Meet with these remarkable students. Hear their stories. Let their passion reignite yours. Because together, we're not just funding education. We are reshaping and shaping compassionate and innovative futures for ourselves and for these students. And to all of you students here, remember this. This is your launch pad. Embrace it with passion, with grit, and with curiosity. Seek mentors, challenge convention, and push past your doubts. The scholarship I received didn't just support my studies. It taught me about empathy. It taught me about persistence and the power of showing up. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to keep going and keep trying. So students, thank you for your dedication and drive. Dream big, stay curious, and let's keep this cycle of impact alive and strong. And lastly, to everybody, thank you all for allowing me to pay it forward. It's my pleasure, and I love the opportunity that was presented to me today to join you all here. So thank you very much.
Gotta find my script. Thank you, Dr. Weintraub. That was amazing. Thank you for your generosity, but for those words of wisdom and reminding all of us like how important relationship building is. So thank you. Okay, so at this time now, we'd like to invite all of our scholarship recipients to be recognized. So please stand if you received a scholarship. Congratulations, students. So you have worked hard to distinguish yourself and to excel here at the College of Pharmacy. Thank you for your ambition, your dedication, and the excellence that you bring to our PharmCap family. You can now be seated. All right, so now I'd like to ask the donors to please stand. It's so good to see many of you here today. So these individuals, again, believed in you students even before you started your career as a pharmacist. So we need to be able to make sure that we thank them for their generous gifts, their commitment to the next generation of pharmacy professionals, and their encouragement along the way. So thank you so much, donors. Next, we have invited 3 of our student scholars to share a few words. So please help me welcome them. We're going to begin with Diana Ahmad, a P4 student who received the Charles and Barbara Burnett Scholarship.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm truly honored to be here today and deeply grateful for this opportunity. I want to thank the Burnett Scholarship this year and all my previous scholarship donors from past years. While this scholarship is a personal blessing for me, I also know this scholarship, this changes lives many of the other students and helping us to focus on education and service work. We are here to passionate about it. Let me tell you a little bit about me. I'm from Kurdistan region of northern part of Iraq. I don't know if you guys know where is that, called Kurdistan. And I'm proud to say that I'm the first woman in my family that pursuing higher education. I earned my bachelor degree here in the University of Arizona, and I never thought that I'm gonna go back to gain a higher education. But I started working in the United Nations and UNICEF for 9 years. I realized that to make a bigger difference, to do more research and to help communities better, I needed higher education and deeper knowledge of healthcare. While working on projects at UN and UNICEF and supported women and children with healthcare, education, mental health services, and basic needs, I saw every day how the lack of these services could change course of the life of a person. Those experiences inspired me to keep going and dedicate my life to helping others. Coming back to school after 9 years away from school, it was a bit shocking, interesting. The first time I sat in the lecture hall again, I felt like I walked into a new, different world. I saw everyone sitting there, completely focused, young, fresh from previous bachelor's degree, typing away on their tablets. And meanwhile, I was just showing with my pen and paper, wondering if I was ready for this new world of academia. But with time, help of my mentors, faculty, classmates, and scholarship like Burnett Scholarship, I found my place again. These awards are a powerful reminder that people believe in our potential. They lift financial burden and allow us to focus on learning, leadership, and service without constant worrying about how to afford the next semester. Scholarships are just more than financial support. They are investment in our future as healthcare providers. They give us the confidence to push through challenges, the freedom to serve our communities, and the ability to grow into leaders and who will make differences. To Burnett Scholarship donors and to all the donors here today, thank you for believing in us. And thank you for believing in students like me. I carry your trust and support with me everything I do. And I hope to pay, and I want to pay forward throughout my career to next generation. Thank you.
Thank you, Diana. Now we will hear from Angelica Rivera, a P2 student who received the Thomas K. PharmD Scholarship.
Hello, everyone. My name is Angelica Rivera, and I'm a second-year pharmacy student at the Coit College of Pharmacy, Tucson campus. It really is a pleasure to be speaking with you all today. To begin, I just want to sincerely thank all the donors, faculty, and staff in this room. Can we all give them a big round of applause? Lots of clapping today. The support from everyone, truly everyone in this room, is beyond words. And I can honestly go on and on about how grateful I am for each and every one of you, but would probably be here all night, so I won't do that today. Thanks to your generosity, I'm just one of many students who have been given the opportunity to pursue their dreams. While each one of us shares a unique story, we still share one common goal, and that's to make a meaningful difference on those around us. For me, your support has deepened my passion and strengthened my commitment to serving others in a healthcare setting. My passion for healthcare began long before pharmacy school. Growing up, I was inspired by my mother's compassion and commitment as a respiratory therapist. She still is one. And then that inspiration only grew stronger when I saw my grandmother go through cancer treatment and now come into remission. Those two experiences really showed me just how powerful healthcare could be. That inspiration led me to enter college as a pharmacy undergraduate, and in 2024, I was really honored to be offered a seat at the Coit College of Pharmacy doctorate program. My journey towards becoming a pharmacy student and a future pharmacist most definitely is one of my most proudest achievements. As it turns out, I'm not the only one in this family that shares this same passion. My sister, Bianca Rivera, who's also in this room, she's now just less than a year away from earning her PharmD degree. While it may seem like a coincidence that we have ended up here together, our journeys have not always followed the same path. Same goes for every pharmacy student in this room. Each of us have taken a different path, but are still here at the same time, at the same point. Some of us discovered pharmacy later in life, others knew from start, and many of us faced a lot of unique challenges and moments that shaped our why. But no matter how we got here, we still share that one common goal, and it's to make a difference. And that is why I share this story as a way to say thank you. Thank you to all the donors, staff, and faculty for not only taking the time to learn about our different stories, our goals in pharmacy, and the reasons we are here today. Your generosity and belief is more than a contribution to our education. It is truly shaping the future of healthcare. And to my fellow classmates, our journey in pharmacy is just beginning, and there is a lot more ahead of us. Let's continue to support one another, to grow together, and to become the healthcare professionals our families and our communities deserve today. Speaking with you all today has truly been an honor. Thank you, guys.
So great hearing from the students. Thank you, Angelica. All right. So next we'll hear from Blake Williams, a P4 student who received an Andrew P. Martin Charitable Trust Scholarship. Say that 5 times fast. Come on up, Blake.
Good afternoon, everyone, donors, faculty, and my fellow students. My name is Blake Williams, and I'm a P4 student, and I'm truly honored to speak to you today as a recipient of the Andrew P. Martin Scholarship. The Andrew P. Martin Scholarship is far more than short-term financial assistance. It represents a vote of confidence in the next generation pharmacists such as myself. This support frees me to focus not on meeting tuition deadlines, but on meeting my patients' needs during rotations. Because of this award, I can devote all of my energy into learning that will carry me throughout my career. I will have the pleasure of pursuing advanced clinical rotations, travel to major national conferences, and devote more energy to scholarly projects with the goal of advancing pharmacy practice. Looking ahead, I'll be applying to PGY1 residency programs this winter, and then a subsequent PGY2 in oncology pharmacy. My end goal is to serve at a comprehensive cancer center where I can serve on investigational drug units. I want to stand beside patients during their most vulnerable moments and help design safer, smarter therapies that better reflect the patient's individual values and goals. One day, I hope to contribute to the very treatments that make cure not just a possibility, but a certainty. Receiving this scholarship tells students like me that our ambitions matter, that the pharmacy community shares in our vision. I promise to honor that faith by transforming today's opportunities into tomorrow's cures. On behalf of all recipients, thank you for investing in futures you've only begun to imagine. Your generosity lights the path we are eager to walk. Thank you.
Thank you, Blake. Always great hearing from you all. So as we wrap up today's luncheon, I want to thank both our students and our donors again. We'd also like to extend our appreciation to Shelby Galpin and to Brian Despain for organizing this event. Let's give them a big round of applause. You all are amazing, and we wouldn't be able to do this without you, so thank you. And then we want to say a special shout out to Dr. Meta Lou Henderson. Where is she? I was trying to find her. Ah, there you are. That's why. Yes. So we just want to thank you so much for helping us organize and continue to make this event better and better. You're just so involved with our scholarship committee as well as with this event, and we just appreciate you for that. So thank you. All right, so students, your hard work and dedication inspires us all. That's why we're here. And donors, your generosity and belief in these students make a lasting impact on their futures and on the communities that they are going to be serving. Together, you remind us that scholarships are about more than support. They're about connection and shared purpose. On behalf of the R. Ken Coit College of Pharmacy, thank you for being here to celebrate with us today. This brings our ceremony to a close. So please feel free to continue visiting with one another, building those relationships with each other, and we look forward to seeing everyone at homecoming on November 7th, where you can bear down. Thank you.